Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to show you how to replace a cordon, one of these right here, in a small vineyard. I left all of the ones that need replacing, like this one right here. I left those alone and I pruned around them. Well, I pruned around some. This one is marked for replacement, but there's nothing to replace it. So this year I'm hoping I'll have something from right here to replace that one, but we'll get into that later. Which one should I choose here? This one is a total mess. Maybe we'll start with this one. And when I have stuff marked for a replacement like this, that doesn't necessarily mean I'll be able to do it this year, just that over the years I want to try to do it. Like this right here, it has nothing coming off the side. Well, actually, I'll have to tell you about all that stuff first, but I don't know if I'll be able to replace this one or not. We'll see. All right, we'll probably start with the easier one than that. Let me go grab my pruning shears and we'll get at this. A little bit of snow left. It snowed, not last night, but the night before. We got about an inch. It is spring, but we definitely have snow in the spring here. All right, we got my Corona lopping shears, Felco pruning shears, my belt, and a scissors. That should do it. Okay, I think we're going to start with this one. This one has a cane that I pruned up last year. Well, I tied it to the main trunk here, and it goes up this way. It goes that way and this way, so we'll use this one. This cordon needs to be removed. I have it flagged, and I flagged it last year probably because it wasn't producing very well. This stuff out here might be dead. It's kind of hard to tell. This looks pretty good right here. That doesn't look bad. That doesn't look bad. What we're going to do is just leave this cordon in place, and I'll get the new cordon trained right along next to it. And then once everything shoots out this year, if it's not producing well, I'll probably just take it off, or I could leave it and get a little bit of fruit off of it this year and get a little bit of fruit off the new one as well. This side here appears to be okay, but it has this cane that's in a perfect position to replace it. So what I'm going to do is prune everything and leave this cane here. And it appears as though the cane starts going bad right about there, which may be enough, but whatever the case is, I'll train this along the top on this side as well. And if this side isn't producing that well, and it looks like it was producing well, I didn't get in here and harvest last year's, and you could see all the fruit on this thing. So this side probably won't get replaced, but as long as I have this cane here, I might as well do it. When you plant these cold hardy vines, you want to split it right near the base, and how you do that is you'll have buds that come off the side. You'll get shoots off the side, like this one here, and you train them both up to the top, and once they get up to the level of the wire, you have one going one way, one going the other way. In this case, they're 3 feet each, and I want 6 spurs on them. Let's see, we got 1, 2, nothing there, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was one right here at one time. And after a while, they get kind of ragged and stuff. You get your grapes, you get your fruit from last year's cane. This is all last year's cane. But what you want to do is get them right off of the shoot here, like this right here. This is last year's cane. So I want to save 3 buds from that. I would cut this off right here, cut this off, and in this case I don't know. I might cut this whole thing off right here because this looks good and this looks good down here. But you don't want to keep this stuff that's getting really far away from the arm here. This is connected directly to the spur. So I would probably just keep this and cut this whole thing off. Let me show you on the vine next door. On this one, we had a shoot. Oh, actually, nope. That's right at ground level. We got two coming up. The reason for that is because of the cold winters. If one of the trunks die, you still have a whole nother trunk and a whole nother cordon. If you bring a single trunk all the way up to the top and then split it up here, if the trunk dies like right here, you lost both of your cordons. So that's why you bring them up as close to the ground as possible. You split it like that. And on this one, the one we're going to be working on, this is my new arm. You can see it back here. Comes up. And then kind of a tangle here, but where it forks right here, I will probably be using this. And we'll see how this all goes. I might have to take a bud right here. This will get a shoot on it. I might have to train that along the top of this instead. It's kind of hard to tell until we dig into this. So let me get rid of a bunch of this junk here and we'll be able to see what's going on a lot better. Okay, the majority of this stuff can just be hacked right off. Anything that's past like 6 inches past the arm is not going to get used at all, except for your replacement cordon. So you just got to make sure you don't cut your replacement cordon, but the rest of it, as long as you're cutting it far enough away, you can just hack it off like this. Yeah, this is the kind of the tricky part because we got our cordon right here. All right, a lot less mess already. This is a bull cane coming from the next vine. And a bull cane is just a cane that is really vigorous. This is a bull cane right here. These are just regular canes. This right here looks like it would be a real nice replacement. The problem is, if you follow it back, it's part of this cordon over here, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to have both cordons coming from the same trunk. Just trimming up the replacement cordon, trimming off the extra stuff off of it. So I would want to cut it off right about there. Yeah, this goes up kind of high, but I'm going to be pulling this wire up a little bit later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nodes on that. And I'm not exactly sure how it's going to sit, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Cut off all this side stuff. Okay, let's switch to the other side. Okay, this right here is the replacement cordon that we just set up on the other side. Got a lot of junk down here as well. All right, this is our replacement cordon right here, and we're gonna get rid of that section that droops over the other side right away. Get rid of this. All right, here it is right here. Take off this side stuff. And we'll let it go way down to there. All right, I'm going to prune off a bunch of this stuff. I think I will just take that off. This is getting way too leggy. Okay, so I want 3 buds on this, and that would be to right here. Take off that back piece, and that's actually a real nice looking spur right there. From what it looks like this is dead, this is dead, this is dead, this is alive, the one I just did, and it looks like these 2 are dead as well. This might be alive, but you could see why I had this marked for a replacement. So now what I'll do is get it tucked in as good as I can. Actually, I don't know. It's a lot easier if I remove the old cordon, which I will probably do. Oh, look at that. I wasn't even looking at that. I was thinking both of these flags were on this cordon here, but this cordon here is marked for replacement as well. So it's lucky we saved this one for this side. Okay. So what I think I'll do is remove this cordon because this looks really dead. That'll give me some room so I could tuck this one underneath, and we'll run this one along the top of this, and we'll try to get this one right on the wire. All right, hopefully I get this right. Trace this one back, and it comes through here, and it's the back one right at this split right here. There we go. Got a little tie on here. And there we go. Yeah, that one had 2 spurs that were still alive. This one right here, and one right at the very beginning. The rest of them are all dead. Now, we're going to start fresh with this one. And just wrap it around the wire a couple times. I'm going to be raising the wire up a little bit later, and I don't want to tie anything right now. So this will do just fine. It's going to go probably about like that. And we can tie it right here. And that's just to keep it from flopping around in the wind. and it'll grow straighter once it starts putting on some wood. I ran out of the flexible green ties, and I need to place an order for nets and stuff, so I got to do that all together, so it's going to take a while for that. But you don't really want to use twine because it'll start digging into the plant if you forget it, and you will definitely forget it. Okay, so let's look at the anatomy of this vine. The original vine came up to this point and it split right here. This one here, and there was another trunk here. Now we're going to have a trunk back here. But at some point, this was cut off, and that entire cordon was replaced with a bud from up here. This turned into a shoot, and it was run up along the wire, and apparently it didn't do that good. So after this year, I'm going to train this. I'm going to get this tied down to the wire. Once I get this lifted up, the wire needs to be lifted up right near the top of that post right there. And I'm going to be doing that in about a week or two. If you want to see that, make sure you watch. But anyways, once that's done, I'll get this tied right on top of this one. And next year, I'll cut this cordon off, this one right here. I'll cut it off right there. And we will have one of the trunks coming from way down there. And then this one is an original trunk. And then it'll turn into this 1-year-old, but next year it'll be 2 years old. So it's going to start looking a little gnarly, but that's the way grapevines look. Okay, let me get a little bit of tying done on this, and then we have a bunch of other cordons that need replacing. If there's anything different on any of them, I'll show you that, and then we'll wrap up after that. Okay, on the very next vine, this is a replacement from last year, and it doesn't look all that good. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 6 spurs, but it does not look all that fruitful. So what it did was branched off back here, and this ran along the top. I don't know if I trained it there while I was pruning last year or not. I may have, but this looks like a really nice cordon. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let both of these go this year, and I'll mark that with blue, and we'll see which one does better. Then next year I can just choose between the two. One of them will have to go, but I believe it's going to be this original one. I believe this will be the new cordon here. And if you follow this cordon, it goes around through there, and it goes all the way to the ground. You cannot do that on a lot of different vines because they have a different root, and the suckers that they send up will be a completely different vine. But in this case, these are self-rooted. This is Marquette grapes, and there's no root graft. So any sprouts that come up from the ground, we can use them as new trunks. Yeah, this has something going on. Oh, this right here. This needs to be taken out. Oh, I see what's going on. This one right here, this whole trunk needs to come out. This one is going to stay, but it's going to be cut right here. Yeah, this will be pretty interesting. I'll show you this one when I'm done. This has got a lot of cutting as well. All right, well, I'm not going to show you every one of these, but this is the very next one in line, and it does not look like it has a replacement. This cordon right here is going to get replaced. Oh, maybe this will work. Oh, that's on the other trunk. Never mind. So, yeah, I'll have to dig through this mess, but it looks like this one right here, this will just have to get cut off right here, and the shoot it makes this year, I'll run that along the wire, and then next year I'll be able to replace this one. Yeah, you can tell this one has a dead spur there, a dead spur there. That one has some life to it. So does this. And it's real scraggly towards the end. So that's why it's being replaced. I'll show you this one too when it's done. Okay, our cordon that was marked for removal, if you follow it down, it goes right to the ground, but our new cordon starts right here and goes up and basically follows it real nice all along the wire there. And this cane right here came off of this trunk, which supports this cordon. Apparently this cordon is doing just fine, but what I did was trimmed it out a little bit, and I really need to get in there and trim a little bit more. But it goes over and is just tied by the wire. When I see that, when I do my next pruning, I'll take whatever shoot that looks the best coming off right here, and I'll run it along the wire. And if this is looking bad next year, I'll have a replacement in place. All right, I really got to move. I have a ton more to prune, and unfortunately, it's spring, but it's been really, really cold. This is the only warm day in the next week, so I got to get as much done as possible today. And by warm, I mean it's about 40 degrees right now and a little breezy, so my hands are kind of freezing. All right, I'm going to get back at it, and I'll get back with you if I find an unusual situation. Okay, I just replaced all of the arms that need replacing, and I finished up all of the rest of the pruning. I'm trying to hold my back to the wind. It got really windy out here, and it's pretty cold as well. A lot more work to do down here this year. Next thing I got to do is clear out all this cane that I just cut and rake in the aisles. I'm going to do some fertilizing. I'm putting in another trellis. I'll be planting a few plants. A lot to do out here, so if you want to see it, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put it in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.